everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while as the market has continued to improve, along with myself taking a holiday and getting COVID. So I'm back at it, and today we are going to review what has happened in Q1 of 2022. All of this information has been gathered from the Calgary Real Estate Board, also known as CREB. So thank you, CREB, for providing all this information to us. Without it, we would not be able to pass this on to you consumers. So before we get into it, my name is Hripko with Royal LePage Benchmark. If you already follow me, thank you so much. Welcome back. And if you don't, I ask you to hit that subscribe button below, get notified to see more of this type of content. So, okay, 2022 Q1, record high sales activity. This came with an increase of new listings, which provided some choice for buyers compared to this last quarter, where sales exceeded the number of new listings. Although there was an improvement in new listings, it was not enough to add significant supply to the market, and inventory levels declined over the last quarter of 2021 and were 30% lower than long-term trends, reflecting the lowest quarterly inventory level seen since 2014. So these were the conditions that brought us into this first quarter, and record sales combined with the low inventory levels caused the months of supply to sit just above 1 month. So what that means is, with the same demand that we are seeing with no new listings coming onto the market, we would have sold everything that's on the market within 1 month. That is insane. Sellers' market conditions continue with the prices in this quarter, and it's mainly driven by the strong gains in that detached sector of the market. We were already expecting the sales to be strong in Q1. However, the demand is what's continuing to exceed our expectations. So with the rising interest rates and the further price gains, this is what's pushing those consumers to enter the market as soon as possible. However, with the lack of choice over the past little while, that's what's created that buildup of demand that can only be satisfied with the improving supply levels. So what I've also noticed in this quarter regarding just buyers' conditions with an offer is actually quite interesting. So in January and February, unconditional offers were the craze. You could not buy a property if you wanted to have a home inspection or financing condition. Nope, sorry, not going to happen. You had to be unconditional, and you also had to offer ridiculously above asking price. It was just pure insanity. No one could keep up with the market, not even us realtors. So come March, we saw many conditions return into the marketplace. So buyers realized their worth, and they also wanted to protect their interests for the biggest purchase of their life, which is completely fair. I really enjoy having buyers have their conditions as they should. So with these conditions, what is different compared to what we saw a little bit earlier, a couple of years ago with the buyer's market, is we're just seeing those conditional time periods tighten up. So for example, we're seeing about 5 days as a maximum, ideally less, for you to satisfy the conditions. Whereas before, 10 to 14 days was the typical norm. So what we've also been noticing is actually a little bit of a slowdown in the number of sales if we look at the week-to-week sales, okay? And so this could be due to a number of reasons, and it could just be because buyers are giving up. They're no longer able to afford what they want to buy. They're getting priced out of the market. They don't necessarily want to go into a different sector of the marketplace. And other buyers are just frustrated. They've maybe lost out on so many multiple offers, don't have the energy or the desire to continue to go down this path. These buyers might come back in the latter part of the spring, but it's really hard to say, especially with those interest rates rising. Who knows what's going to happen? And as mentioned earlier in the video, where we did notice those unconditional offers in the first part of this quarter, the remaining buyers are more conservative. They're more patient. They're willing to wait until they find that right home at the right price. So with that being said, you should wait. Make sure you can find that right property versus just buying something and then regretting it. And lastly, what we're also seeing are more overpriced listings come onto the market. Sellers are getting a little bit greedy, and they know it's a seller's market, so they're just trying to take advantage of that situation. And there's also a lot of unskilled agents who are not providing the proper information to their sellers on how the market has truly improved. So what you have to do is price appropriately, because if you don't, your property is just going to sit on the market and it's just going to wait, right? You're going to be doing, as I call, the price reduction dance, which is no fun. So what will come out of all of this? In my opinion, I think that we'll be seeing a little bit more of a slowdown, ever so slightly. What I mean by this is that we'll see more new listings come onto the market, especially as we have better weather in the spring. However, we won't be seeing those price gains that we've been seeing earlier in the year. Rather, we'll be seeing a more consistent or predictable market versus the volatile market that we're in now. So if you are a seller, it may be an opportune time to get your property on the market sooner than later, before the flood of new listings come onto the market, especially as the weather improves. You don't want to have too much competition, because then prices will reduce. Buyers, be patient. I know it's scary with the interest rates that are increasing and the media just pushing that bad news out there. Let's wait to find the right home so you don't just buy for the sake of buying. I just did a video with Cheryl Sanguinetti, who is a mortgage broker who I love and adore. She actually had a really interesting Instagram post a couple of weeks ago talking about the interest rates and how they have affected you. And if you break it down, where, for example, don't quote me on the numbers, go check out her post. But for example, with the interest rate increase, that could be $24 per $100,000 borrowed. So in all reality, when you break it down, it's not that big of an increase and it doesn't affect you too much. However, the media and all the hype around it is what is getting in your head and freaking people out. So we do have to take a step back and make sure that we understand everything that's happening and move forward as an educated buyer. So if you have any questions on anything I covered here today, please feel free to reach out. I have a link below in the comments to my Calendly, where you can actually click the link. You can book a time that works best for your schedule in my calendar, and we can have a phone call or a Zoom call to discuss any questions that you have. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Comment below what you think is going to happen in the remainder of the year.